I get those goosebumps every time. I need the Heimlich, throw that to the side. I get those goosebumps every time.
Welcome to another episode of Donut Fitness. This will be another sort of training, informative video. Today, we have an exciting topic. We're going to talk about your bro training split, the one you've been doing since you got into bodybuilding and you thought this is how you get huge, or you know, this is the sort of one body part a day, one time a week, blast that body part like there's no tomorrow type of thing. We're going to talk today about why maybe that is holding you back a little bit and not allowing you to reach your muscle building potential. So I'm going to use this graph here to kind of show you a few things. But one thing we do know, and you can Google this, the increased rate of muscle protein synthesis peaks around 24 to 36 hours post training, and you're pretty much back to baseline at 48 hours. So we know that, like I said, just Google muscle protein synthesis after post training, and you'll see studies and everything. That's sort of something set, something we know. So we're gonna make this a quick video, and I'm gonna show you real quick why, if you're doing this training method, it might not be so hot. So we're gonna take chest as an example. So what we have here, we have the days of the week starting on Monday. So what we're gonna do is, on Monday, we're gonna look at, we train chest. We're there on National Chest Day, we kill it, and let's see, your muscle protein synthesis, it's gonna shoot up, it's gonna peak around 36 hours, and then it's gonna come back down. So that's gonna be what you're gonna get from muscle protein synthesis standpoint. Then let's say we don't train again, we don't do chest again until the following Monday. You're back at baseline this whole time. You're just at baseline, baseline, baseline. Oh, you train chest, here we go again, big jump in protein synthesis. You're peaking up here, right around the 24, 36 hour mark. That's how you look right now training. Now, I get it, there's a little crossover. You know, are you gonna get a little chest stimulation on your shoulder day? Yeah, you are. But it's not enough to stimulate the protein synthesis that occurs when you're directly training that muscle. So if you look over a 10-day period, if you're a natural athlete, so keep that in mind, we'll talk about performance enhancing things later here, but a natural athlete doing the typical bodybuilder bro type of split, this is what you're gonna get. You got 2 peaks in protein synthesis over this 10-day period for your chest. Now, let's take a look if we go to more of an upper-lower type of training split, and let's see what happens, okay? So what you're gonna get, let's say you have upper body on Monday, right? So same thing, you know, it's gonna be the same peak in muscle protein synthesis. So that's the same, right? But then let's say you do upper, lower, off, and upper again. Or maybe you're doing a full body split, right? So let's say you're here, and guess what you get? You get another spike right in here that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. And then you'd have the same thing over here. You'd get another one. So over a 2-week time period, you'd end up with 4 muscle building opportunities for your chest versus 2 the other way. Certainly, especially beginners, we talked about my beginner program. In a beginner situation, you could be doing Monday full body, you know, Thursday you could do full body, and then you could be doing another full body here. You could have 3 opportunities for growth with chest. Otherwise, when you're down at baseline, you're not growing anymore. And theoretically speaking, once you get down to baseline, you're ready to train again. So a few questions get brought up with this topic. Doesn't blasting the muscle, doesn't that increase protein synthesis? You know, I hear people talk about leg day all the time. And that's not knocking anyone. I used to do the same thing. Today's my once a week leg day. I'm gonna crush my legs. I'm gonna bury it with 20 sets and just crush it. And what happens? You're sore for 4, 5, sometimes 6 or 7 days. You have DOMS going on, delayed onset muscle soreness, and you know, a lot of people think, oh, I'm sore. I must still be growing. You're not. You're absolutely not. So delayed onset muscle soreness is not an indicator of muscle protein synthesis. Now, I'm not saying a little bit of soreness isn't good. It certainly can be useful. But having an extended amount of DOMS does not indicate that you're growing that whole time. So with chest, for example, let's say you do a crazy chest day. You mix it up, you do 30 sets, right? You're still going to be, on Monday, you're still going to be back to normal muscle protein synthesis on Wednesday, even if you're sore and through Saturday. So that, again, DOMS is not an indicator of muscle protein synthesis. So here's another question. Why does it work? And I've done it too. I did the one body part a day each week. One time a week I did it too. And there's a couple reasons why it works. Number one, if you're going to the gym consistently and you're not eating like a total moron, you're going to make progress. Period. You absolutely will. You can do a lot of things completely wrong, but if you do them consistently, and it's somewhat challenging in the gym, you're going to make some type of progress. The thing is, I don't want to just make some type of progress. I want to make the most optimal progress I can make. But it can work. The second, and it kind of goes along with the first, is drugs. If you're taking drugs, it may work for a variety of reasons. One is this. So this one I'll draw on top is will be someone on performance enhancing drugs. Keep in mind, most of these body part splits come from reading magazines. That's where it all came from. No one used to do this. Even in the 70s and 80s, when there was still drug use, a lot of people did upper or lower or even full body splits. But it was really into the 90s, early 2000s. It's just a magazine selling drug thing is really all it is. So if you're using drugs, this is how you're gonna look. Whoa, big spike, big spike. Spike might even be more. That's a little debatable looking at the research. Let's say it is a little bit more. Oh, but you know what? It's definitely gonna last more. And guess what? Look at this. Look what's going on here. That's what it's gonna be like, or some variation thereof, if you're taking a bunch of drugs. You have extended amount of time on protein synthesis. There's actually a study, there's been a few now, of people taking performance enhancing drugs, building muscle without doing any training. So the stimulus you get from blasting a muscle like there's no tomorrow, and the muscle protein synthesis response thereafter, it's going to be different when you're using drugs. Keep in mind when you're reading the bodybuilding magazines, we're not talking about using drugs. We're talking about just the most ridiculous drug abuse that can ever occur. So we're not even talking about, a 40-year-old male on a replacement dose of testosterone or slightly there above. We're talking about insane abuse, which is fine if that's what you want to do. I have no problem with that. But the point is, the way you train should be much different than when someone is taking those things the way they're training. So what is the best way to do this, and what do we get from all this? I'll do a more thorough video on sort of the training split I do and how I work it, but in a nutshell, it's this: higher frequency training. You should be hitting a body part, most body parts, absolutely 2 times a week, up to 3 times a week. I do want to say this before we do that video. That does mean you have to cut back your volume in each exercise session, right? So you can't do, 20 sets of chest, 2 or 3 or even 4 times a week. You'll never recover from that. You'll just bury yourself. So let's say for back, if you're doing 18 sets a week, right now you're doing that all in one session, well, break that up. Break that up. That's only 9 work sets, and you might not even need to do that many. Maybe start and aim for 14 total work sets for back. 7 on Tuesday, 7 on Friday. Pair it up with a couple other body parts, and it's much easier to manage. But basically, you're going to go in, do enough to stimulate that muscle protein synthesis, and then as soon as you get back down the baseline, you're going to hit that muscle again. So in a month, compared to what you're doing now, you could have double the amount of time to grow. Again, I do want to say the higher frequency training, a full body split, upper, lower, or something like that, it is especially true for naturals. I mean, it is a little bit of a different game if you're taking some sort of performance enhancing drugs, but if you're natural, I mean, absolutely stay away from the bodybuilding type bury yourself splits. The other thing that comes up with those splits is I noticed this. So, and I used to have this with myself. So let's say on these splits, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So let's say your split goes like this. Let's say you do chest, then you do back, then you do legs, then you do arms, and then shoulders, and then let's say, a lot of times people do like a random calf, abs, whatever day. That's a very typical bro split people do. So what they find is this: because if you're natural, you're burying that muscle group, you don't recover well, and then you have a bad workout for your next body part. So what I found with a lot of people I've worked with doing these splits that are natural, they have a great workout on this day, and then a crap workout on this day, then a great workout on this day, then a crap workout on this day, and then a kind of medium, not very good workout. So, because you're not recovering well, and you're trying to do a split that someone taking 3 grams of steroids is doing, you're just burying yourself. You're getting sore all the time. You can't recover, and you're actually limiting your potential for growth. I think what happens is most people think I'm sore all the time, I'm beat up, but you know what? I'm optimizing my growth potential, and you're actually doing the opposite. So that's all we have for today. I wanted to make this a short video. Hope everybody enjoyed the Saturday night cheat night challenge last night. That was a fun one. We will be in Buffalo, New York next weekend. Hopefully we'll have some sort of wing eating challenge or something along those lines. Have another training video this week and probably one more informative type video. Please like, please subscribe. Thanks for all the comments, all the feedback, and appreciate all the support. Have a great week. Thanks.